Good morning. We start with Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga from the small booklet. From the heart of the Savior of 100 deities of Tushita, on a peak of cloud resembling a clam of extremely white fresh curd, King of Dharma, omniscient lost Sandrapa, please come here together with your son. In the sky before me, on a lion throne, lotus and moon, my perfect pure Guru smiles with delight, supreme field of merit for my mind of faith. Please abide for 100 yons to spread the teachings. Your holy mind has the intelligence that understands to full extent of objects to be known. Your holy speech with its excellent explanations is an ear ornament for those of good fortune. Your holy body is radiantly beautiful with glory renowned. To you who are meaningful to see, hear, and remember, I prostrate. Pleasing drinking water, various flowers, fragrant incenses, lice, scented waters, and so forth. Oceans of cloud-like offerings, both actually arranged and mentally emanated, I offer to you the supreme field of merit. Whatever non-virtue of body, speech, and mind, especially those opposite to the three vows that I have collected from beginningless time, I confess each and every one with fervent regret from my heart. You strove for much learning and practice in this degenerate age, and made your freedoms and richnesses meaningful by abandoning the 8 worldly concerns, Savior, we sincerely rejoice in your extensive deeds. Perfect, pure, holy gurus, from the billowing clouds of wisdom and compassion in the sky of the Dharmakaya, please let fall a rain of profound and extensive Dharma upon the receptacle of those to be subdued exactly as they need. May whatever virtue I have collected benefit the teachings and all transmigratory beings, and in particular may it cause the essence of perfect pure Losandrapa's teachings to shine forever. Sajibagi Chuji Metok Tramari Rablin Nidegiampari Sangeshindu Mite Ulwa Idrokunamadak Shilachupashuk. By the merits of having offered this mandala to Lama Tsongkhapa and his two sons, may I, my family members, and all sentient beings be able to meet, practice, and actualize the teachings of the victorious one Losang Drapa, who had the morality of an eminently pure way of life, was courageous in the extensive conduct of the sons of the victorious ones, and accomplished the yoga of the two stages of supreme bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami. By the force of having fervently requested in this way, hollow beams of white light are emitted from the hearts of the perfect pure Father and Sons, and combining into one enter my crown. White nectar, the color of milk, flows from the opening of the tube of white light, cleansing all my sicknesses, spirit harms, negative karmas, obscurations, and they imprints without exception. My body becomes as pure and clear as crystal. Now we recite five line Miktsema 3 times. Migme tsewe terchen chen resik dreamek yampe wampo jampe liang dupo malu jonze sanwe dak kanchen kepe tsungen tsongkapa losan drape shabla solwa Migme tsewe terchen chen resik dreamek yempe wampo jampe liang dupo malu jonze sanwe dak ganchen kepe tsungen tsongkapa losan drape shabla solvade Migme tsewe terchen chen resik dreamek yempe wampo jampe liang dupo malu jonze sanwe dak ganchen kepe tsungen tsongkapa losan drape shabla solwaide.
Sāngi chödāng tsōgin chōnum lā chāngchō pārdō dāni gyab sūnchē dāgi chūshī gyabān dādāk Roland Bench, Sanjin Drupal Show, Sanji Chodan Sojin Chonumla, Chanju Pardo Dan Jabsunchi, Dagi Chuji Jevan, the Dagi, Roland Bench, Sanjin Drupal Show, Sanji Chodan Sojin Chonumla, Chanju Pardo Dan Jabsunchi, Dagi Chuji Jevan, the Dagi, Roland Sanjin Drupal Show. 강기 투쟁이 존이 따와 통제 방비스 담이춘 된집이 고dom대라 창제로 시신 경건자별로 개선다 위진줄이 수트라 배절하면 돈들 재미던데 라전 살 남아라 이게 들러는 저번다다 미게 넣는 저 군지 자는 시점 탐지게도 다기 최된 또 그러면 everyone 쇼버들이 참말라
Wadile Geshla.
where are you from? Are you first time here? Okay. Ah, ah. We met first time? Maybe. Interesting. So, what do you name? Get? No, refugee name. Yes. Okay. Yeah, Geshe. Yeah, okay. Excellent. When? 2023. Okay, okay. Excellent. Online. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. And how is your practice?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so being so far away and not surrounded by my peeps from Langley Tangpa, because we would catch up after class, it definitely was challenging to yeah, to care for people and see their suffering and know that I am, yeah, I can't teach them. I can care and share what I know and try not to be preachy. But yeah, so it was struggling. It was challenging to care, not challenging to care, but a burden to share other people's suffering when they didn't have a way forward through it.
And you have some questions today?
Oh, I did actually think about this in advance. um, so in my life, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the term rescuer. So it's like a thing that in some family upbringings are very codependent. And my experience was to be like the rescuer for everyone. In my time with Buddhism, I've discovered that that is not reality. We can, we need to rescue ourselves. And the Dharma, the teaching, the teachings is about helping yourself to become your best self. And I've also observed in different things I've learnt about the Buddha's life, Shakyamuni, before he reached enlightenment, and teachings that he got along the way that were useful, is that he didn't necessarily try to directly help people either. Like, what I understand from the teachings is about everyone needs to do that themselves. And so my question is, why are we going for enlightenment for the benefit of others if yeah, I mean, I kind of have a sense of why, but how do we do that without stepping over the line of letting people help themselves?
Yeah, I have translated.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, that was
This
a long one.
No problem. It's very smart. Cosa, some cosa.
Oscos.
Yeah.
Ini tamorani. Tanta langri tang percentage to el. Ini ani tharing bus use. Tamorangi lega cho de karin na. Ani mi shambala pendo chia. Mi shambala roba chia ta kanje kurangi tangi pit inde beju tang ta. Kyopkin. Kyobya tian kyopsa tian ta sui ne digiyores. Ani lagbar dugi. Tan nang mi de na la ya pa tu. Karse urta. Jipu ta jin pala amla se utende ki tabo ma yen yushe de yoro. O dende le kyopkin de ta kanje ko kyopkin de le ga chi yus. Ani mi shembali ya ta pendo drup se mi shembali ya. Ani ya bo chi se ya ta kali ka bo shure shas. Akbar do ani kunzu ta chik dungye nyo shi ba ka ni shu nyon de du zambala. Ani ta dende chik ani dende ta dungye nyon gi yo mare la ni ta kanje dungye set up dende tabshi tiyan nu ta pe mesi be kale re shas. Ani mi se korang ani morangi shembali ya labja gyap dende cheo mato ya chik chue she ta uta ani dende kunzu tangi tiyan pechu tangi mes. 아니 뭐라다 낭주던 태제 아니 뭐베네 주 카리 메디 아니 따지 치엘라 아니 뭐랑 가우여스 아니 뭐베네 주일라이 대시 갸단다보다 주 삼삼 년도 점발라 아니 로레 펜보시다 두스 싱아 아니 또 내가 저기 미셰발이야 아니 직교캔도 우치다 디체니 레스 다 미셰발 겹세야 당보 수수수수 마겹나 아니 미셰발 겹세야 되냐 미두스 아니 또 낭주 다 태용도 점발라 낭주나 랍제 당보 수수 껴고 그랬으니까 된대시 두스 학벌도 부다 샤게문이 다저기 된바 아니 상마게 병아로도 상계찬이야 아니지 미셴발이야 신리야 캅두 아니 로바체세야 된대 피신 민두스 다 미셴리야 된대 로바체와 된 당보 수수수수 아니 다 껴고래 수수기 중에데 세고래 수수기 녀몬데 세고래스니까 디슈스토스 랍제나리야 아니 kerangi dunge dinge se tu mare kerangi dunge de kerang kale gyan se gu res chini o den de sungshas ta morangi tiwo chu khare inse na ani ta mi shembali ya pen shu ta su 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 gi dunge se gu gu yona ani ngaran zu gi ani anda sangi ki koban tobe as ni geje ji chi du sangi yu koban tobe di shengi che du res chini ta den de sungu du ta di khande inas ngazu gi khandes che gu res
저는 지웠당 섬줄지 빼야고 넣었어. 너. 저는 지웠들이 저는 섬줄 저는 지워. 나 저는 낭줄을 채버 뒤 숨디 빼키지 못하셨어. 니다노. 저는 아니 저는 섬줄 저는 지워 저는 낭줄을 채버 숨디 then 빼키지 못하셨어.
Thank you very much for asking this question. And I thought that your question, your opinion, and the way you meet Buddha Dharma. So these three here plays a very important role.
카인스는 그냥 오늘이다. 그냥 내가 네 안직 나신 겸인지 임바지 그냥 삼수의 송로스라. 그러다 간주 소차 현다 만자와 간주 저 밀이야 남주 카리어스나 신급 고삼비 신라 로버치 고삼비기 간주에 니바치여스 남주여스 디 캐랑게 다야 응원바라스라 캐랑 샘레야 응원바라 디 베키치물 디 망부 쇼즈레 디 응원투고요 말아스라 디 응원바당 캐란 나ンチュレ 체바니디 다 두스문바세치 안주 깝깔이야 두스문바스 베나 차바당에 두스문비 차바당바이나 아니 란종기 로도 끼고라스라 디소라치 직차고레스라
And you told me that your main job is you are a rescuer. So being a human being ourselves, we have such power. We have such a power. We have such intelligence mind where it differs from other animals. We have such a wonderful intelligence mind, and this mind actually, it can differentiate between what is right and what is wrong. And we have this wonderful intelligence mind, and actually this mind helps us to rescue other sentient beings or other animals when in need. So this one, your job and the way you made Buddha Dharma, I guess it is, it is in accordance, or it is at the right time you meet this Buddha Dharma. So we have this time called right time, meeting at the right time, meeting people at the right time. For example, so if you have to, if the crops are ripen at the right time, then it causes is at the right time, the water is needed there. Water is essential to grow or to ripen these crops at the right time.
tadini dirista nganzu mishingi dungar seyagi sendu yubi namjoti mi namjojarasra di sendu yuba zamase ani sel tukugrasra ta shingi dungar sel tukur da chomden digi shingi dungar segugres ani shingi dungar sayachadu chomden digi gom gyabchini ani sangi komba ngondu cheni ani shingi dungar sevichadu sangi komba ngondu chedi ani tan rewa shuyores ra
To clear away the afflictive emotions or negative emotions with regard to other sentient beings. Then here, especially if you have this intelligence mind, in this mind actually, by having this mind, by using or by developing this mind, then actually one can go for the clearing away of, afflictive emotions of other sentient beings. Not only try to clear away the negative emotions of others, but it is necessary to clear away the afflictive emotions of others, since this afflictive emotion acts as the root cause of all the other problems. With regard to Buddha Shakyamuni, he attained enlightenment for the benefit of others, for the benefit of other sentient beings. So once attaining the enlightenment and for the benefit of other sentient beings, they are very strong relation. Yes.
간선나 단지 걔는 대원의 여반나지 랑교 맡은 생교 두고 말했어야 돼. 랑교에 대 랑기 동ар 세야 되라다. 겹겹서나 랑 대발에 한 거봐. 랑기 이집 두야. 랑기 동ар 세 두야 되라더라. 아니 좀 된디 아니 통마 랑교야기 생교야기 꼴롱 디기 토니 랑 마겹나 생교 두고 매바데 색진네 랑교야 랑기 동ar 세야기 토니 곰겹여바다. 곰겹는 탈친니 되니 아니 랑기 동ar 세비기 탑 신지 말로바 니친 랑기 동ar 세야기 탑 니친니 탑 디기 랑기 동ar 세 and this several teni dindigi tab shinji malawadi ani shen la pa lamni ani shen dunga sedang garambadi nang yorwasra te di raj trabana di hakowaina ani chomdin digi ta ji zambani nanola ya ani cheji shuji shasha samsamchi manzola ya pendo shuji tundu samsam sorwa gashi gatamba le chogres le yores tarwa te di mato ani ji dunghar se gogu yobalaya dunghar se bi tablam karimba mashiba chomden digi dunghar se bi tablam karite yobati go matsuna ani chomden digi ta chi song shamando korangi shenla ya robas ki chemdo samsung soad gyase gyadamba yongsi gris kansana gyungu mo penjola soba chi chechin samjan tamji dunghar se gi islabana ndaya kore yomarasra.
So in your question, you are suggesting that you are telling that first one needs to help oneself so that one can help others. Without rescuing oneself, you cannot rescue others or other animals or other people. So here, that's right. First, at least try to clear away all the negative emotions or all the afflictive emotions by yourself or one's own. This negative emotions are to be cleared away by oneself. So how do we clear away? How do we discard these negative emotions? That is through meditation. That is through hearing, contemplating, and meditation on whatever the teachings that you received. Then one can, discard all these negative emotions by yourself. With regard to Buddha Shakyamuni, of course, he attained enlightenment for the benefit of all other sentient beings. Before that, while, when I say he attained enlightenment, this is he cleared away, he eliminated all the negative emotions in his mental continuum. Then he attained this enlightenment. After becoming Buddha, after attaining enlightenment, he teach he gives many teachings. Since he himself know the path, he himself understand what are the path to attain enlightenment. So these, unmistaken path are taught by Buddha Shakyamuni himself to other sentient beings. Then, if you know all these details, then what happens is, then we feel, special respect to Buddha Shakyamuni, since he is giving all these advices or instructions and Dharma teachings for the benefit of all other sentient beings, especially how to eliminate the sufferings, how to eliminate especially the afflictive emotions, and what are its paths, what are its skillful means to clear away all these negative emotions. Then if you don't know the paths, its causes and condition, how to clear away the negative emotions, if we then don't have, if we don't have such feelings, if you don't experience yourselves, then it's quite difficult here. Maybe you can think like, if you try to, you know, practice generosity, or if you try to provide whatever your possessions, especially wealth, money, and so forth, to other sentient beings, then I guess the these wealth or money is not enough, since there are countless sentient beings. Then, of course, by giving money and wealth to others, then I don't think it will help to clear away the negative emotions or the problems which is in the continuum of others or other sentient beings.
It is the Tinza Dungar says on the Tanganzu Dungar send to your Dainea. Dungar Sevi Tablam di Nigio Marasra. Dungar Sevi Tablam di Nigio Mara. Dungar Sevi Tablam Mania Tsuchi Karasana. Dungar Kanin Jombi Shi Karim Badi Muyuni Shi Karim Badi Manzu Jutu Yamarasra. Tinza Chomden Digi Dungar Kari Imbadi Dungar Kari Imbadi Sevigi Tab Shinji Malabo Tembadi Lea Ganzu Lavia Lavaina Tanganzu Dungar Sertugores. Tindi Rangi Dungar Sertuge Tablam Shinji Malabo the Rangi Nyamyung Ton and Shenla Jimbaina Shenla Lavaina Ta Jeng Dungar Sertugores. Mado Chomden Digi Pigi Mus Ganzu Dunga Ma Lenshaya Tindi Kayo Mars Kazana Dungar di Sorwajere Sowa the Ganzu Gigi Ni Dungar di Ni Sorwajeras Ni Sem Gitting Sorwajera Ni Sem Gitting Sowadi Ni Sem Gi Tony Pass Sayare Mato Chi Ngobojigi Ni Sem Gitting Dungar di Sayaki Dio Marista. This one goes, this one goes.
When we say that we need to discard the sufferings, of course, when we experience suffering, then we know that we don't want this suffering. So, what we don't know is, we don't understand how to clear away, how to eliminate these sufferings, and what are the causes of this suffering. So if we don't, it's because of we don't understand its causes, the causes of suffering here, then we are not able to engage to discard these sufferings or problems. That's why it's very important to realize the suffering itself. Moreover, it's more important to understand the causes of sufferings. Understanding the causes of suffering oneself and all the causes, especially the you know here causes refers to the path itself. So perfect path or correct path. And then you can go for, the clearing away or eliminating these sufferings yourself. Then you will attain the enlightenment. After attaining enlightenment, of course, this is for the benefit of others or other sentient beings here. Then, of course, you can teach to others what are the causes of suffering, what do you mean by suffering. You can, of course, give instructions. So I'm saying this since Buddha Shakyamuni himself has done this. After attaining enlightenment oneself, he gave instructions, advices, teachings to others. So this is on the way, like by giving teachings, by advising, by helping others. So here, helping others means Buddha Shakyamuni himself, he can only give teachings, he can only give advices with regard to how to clear away all the sufferings. What are the causes of sufferings? So here, we should be very careful that suffering is an experience or it's a mental factor. So this suffering is something we experiences. For example, me, I experience suffering. So this suffering is as I mentioned earlier that it is a mental factor and it is, consciousness. This is something I experience myself. So this, since I'm experiencing this myself, I need to, discard this, sufferings if really that I don't want this suffering. So Buddha Shakyamuni clearly stated that your suffering is something that you need to, discard this by yourself. I cannot, just take one equipment and try to, discard this suffering by using that equipment. So Buddha Shakyamuni very clearly stated that, and then you might be thinking that, how Buddha Shakyamuni is helping. So Buddha Shakyamuni helps us help other sentient beings by giving teachings, by giving advices, and by giving instructions. Yes.
Tidire dosra. Manzu du staundi. Sulaya mumba shukchewa tsuki. Ani chakba shukchembu legores. Chakba shukchembi wangi ani shedan shukchembu legores. Ti wangi ani dungar paktumeba yungu yobati manzu shimju chewa nata poktuyachi yungu yorasra. Tab re ta dinza ta dungar kitsawa di nyumula tuk yobati Geshe gyatambata dungar sem makiba sem maro tsawa gyu nyumula tuk yobati ngibar dudini 아니 간수다 하고투고 다스라 디 하고투바나 둥거 센두글로 요레 둥거 니물로 투요 하거나 니무 빠야게 삼로지 계초사라스라 좀더 딜람을 치고다스라
Maybe we can think like this. Those person who have more ignorance, it's because of this ignorance. So this more ignorance leads to more attachment, and more attachment leads to more hatred or aversion. And these three, ignorance, attachment, hatred, or aversion, these three leads us in suffering. So if you have all these three, ignorance, attachment, and aversion, it's because of these three, if you have this, in your mental continuum, then I'm sure that you have to suffer a lot. One will suffer a lot. This is something you can just, if you have time, then you can just think about this. So this, we of course, we will understand. So here, the root cause of suffering is afflictive emotions or negative emotions, such as all this, like ignorance, attachment, and aversion. So when we say, today I'm not happy, if our mind is not at peace, then its root cause is negative emotions. So these sufferings is something we don't want. So if we really don't want this suffering, then we need to, discard this by understanding the causes of suffering itself. So Buddha Shakyamuni uh, gave teachings in such a way. So it's important for us to follow these instructions or teachings.
다 둥거디 뉴물라데니 총 매바이나 아니 둥거 칼데니 총바레스 띵간주 심죽체레스 리치기다 둥거디 뉴물데니 총 켈레 마투바나 둥거디 칼데니 총바레스 둥거디 규질데니 총요바 야샤자다 바라스라 먼저 미 통대야 직코대야 뉴지기 용수 저버디 규든 게망부 초벌데니 종국 여버디 먼저 응숨든 통고라스라 딘자 둥가 대한 컨디시 출레 만데바인자 코 아규든 깬레 때네 종국 요레스 종 요레스 종국 요레스 자 규카레스 깬 카를 때니 용고레스 투두 바 심주 지온디 아니 가주스 그 딱지 제바이나 뉴물라 마템바 둥가 종수제다 둥가디 뉴물라 때메바지 아니 직pat 사원이는 다 요마레스라
With regard to suffering, then of course its main cause here is the afflictive emotions. So if that suffering, the cause of the suffering is not afflictive emotions or negative emotions, then we need to see what are the causes of this suffering. Then, all these phenomena, whatever the phenomena that we think of, especially whatever we see, whatever we listen, whatever we hear, all the compounded phenomena, the the real nature is impermanent. It has its causes and conditions. So suffering is a compounded phenomena. So this suffering has its causes and conditions. So if you analyze like this, then you can understand the causes and conditions of suffering. So there are, some people who might be thinking that the causes of suffering is actually not the afflictive emotions. So then you need to think what is the causes and conditions of suffering. So I don't think there is, uh, good reason. There is a good reason where you can say that, the causes of suffering is not uh, the afflictive emotions, or afflictive emotion is not the cause of suffering. I don't think you can find a good reason. Yes.
다 동hardi nyumula tene drivyongdi karsa 동hardi 다 nyumula tene chungwansa 다 동할 세야디 동할 세바디 야 gyujenchile teoko yarasra 동할 세비기 제부 동할 세비기 gyujendi 아니 단지든 딱딱게 아니 디기 karsa 다 지금 간다치 이임바로다 nyumugi dungar chigi yana nyumudang kapdigi lodigi dungar segi yabadi ta rigbi druchogres nyumunda shinji lodu nyumunda takdagi zandang ngosungabi ani lodigi tani nyumu sebigi ani seba chigi yabadi druchogres telko junsen jingdo asra.
With regard to suffering, its main cause is negative emotions. Then with regard to elimination of suffering, this also one should rely on the causes and conditions. So here, eliminating the suffering itself, actually, we need to understand what is the opposite of afflictive emotions. So here one needs to develop the positive emotions. Here also we need to understand the afflictive emotions and its opposite. So here opposite means the consciousness where it directly uh, uh, directly opposite of this afflictive emotions, or the mode of apprehension itself. So here, since this and what, of course, then moreover we need to understand the actual antidote of afflictive emotions. So here, while we try to eliminate suffering itself, we need to understand the actual antidote of afflictive emotions. Then one will attain the complete abandonment of afflictive emotions.
There's the Tizata nyumu gitsawadi mariba 마리바긴 전당 가리임에 마리바기 따수 가리임에 디야부 진 아니 우유 니스 마리바긴 전당 가리임마디 nganzo da 아니 아 제버치고 그랬어. 걔 단지 진 남비 슝 우유 니스를 제버치야 등알 가보 유소만 신기 다 드조레스 따라 둥갈 원에디 가르레스 둥가디 칼데는 중군도스 딘디 우유 니스도 심주첸 다 둥갈 그 싸워 뉴무인 바토 뉴무기 뉴무디 다 로직 뉴무디는 전당 가리임에 로 뉴무디는 전당 가리임바디 따당 가리임바는 통디 그 따당당 유궁의 내수님보디 통근도문도 오늘 따 적어도 하세요. 다 유궁의 내수도 멘틴비기 로직이 로디 양타바레스 랍투 마송하세요. 아니 유궁의 내수 통에 로 양타바 샤죠. 디고 샤셔도 하세요. 다로 양타바 지게체네 아니 로 신주로도 봐 가야 여바다 딘디지기 딱 네번이 온디 아니 디콘 가시기 탑 가리면 네번이 온디 아니 샘 나노라야 양 당이 콘주이기 녀로 제바이나 네 콘주이기 뉴무 세비기 탑다 신지 몰라왕이 땐 두고도 삼비 아니 뽑아지 끼 쳐서라서 상길 디어다 nganzu nyembayna nganzu samlu yabu tangro chebayna sangi nganzu la nyumu sebi ki tab shinji malo wa tensha yoresta rokpa shuchi yorda nganzu la di resira di shingo da di dindi jiga kowaji marana teni namba sangi bi chu yang tawa cheyaji kakbu peresta ro
With regard to this afflictive emotions, the root or this with regard to afflictive emotions, this is the cause of all the sufferings and problems that we experiences. And within these afflictive emotions, ignorance, especially the ignorance of grasping itself, is the root cause. So here we need to understand the mode of apprehension of this ignorance of grasping itself. So in your question, you were asking about the nature of reality, and when you met the Buddha Dharma, then you heard something about the reality of nature of reality. So if you really want to understand the nature of reality, then you should understand the suffering, the cause of suffering. The cause of suffering here is afflictive emotions. Within these afflictive emotions, the root cause here is ignorance of grasping at self. So ignorance of grasping at self, within that, we need to understand the mode of apprehension. Since this ignorance of grasping at self is the wrong consciousness. So wrong consciousness in the sense it means that whatever the mode of apprehension is not in accordance with the reality. For example, wisdom realizing emptiness is the whatever the reality and the mode of apprehension, or what it is and the appearance. Appearance is when appearance is in accordance with the reality, then we can say that consciousness is actually uh, not a wrong consciousness. So this wisdom, this ignorance of grasping at self is a wrong consciousness, because this mode of apprehension, or the way this appearances and the reality doesn't match. Appearances, what you appears, what it appears, and it is not in accordance with the reality. So that's why we can call this ignorance or grasping at self is a wrong consciousness. So here we need to understand that Buddha Shakyamuni, as I mentioned earlier, that he taught us, he gave us this wonderful Dharma teachings, advices, instructions, and so forth. So if you have time, then of course, Buddha Shakyamuni taught all the the causes of suffering, the suffering, what is the meaning of suffering. All these are actually taught. So this is then you know if you are if you can listen, if you have the time, then teaching is always there. So like that, you can also do same. First, you should understand the suffering and the causes of suffering, especially the causes of suffering. What are the paths? How to clear away the negative emotions by understanding all the details yourself. Then of course you can help others. You can teach others. You can give Dharma teachings to others. Of course, this is like for the we say like for the benefit of others. So if we have such kind of understanding with regard to Buddhist teachings, with regard to Buddhism, then it will be beneficial for all of us.
The sanji chelaya, moving nilu soya the shoe, kitchen was on your asra. Moving nilu soya the kitchen book carson chawarsana, and to dungar segu yamanza. Dungar sevala, moving nilu soalaya, Madena, dungar seg, tabshichi yomarta. Moving nilu tomayna, then moving nilu la shinjulo the shubi, any Louis rig the sale to your asra. And you move the dungar gejig, guyons zobat, dog to you. 인자 ngubin nelu kechi musong derwasra shemba ngubin nelu ani nganzula ya penno kaime na ngubin nelu tonan to mandan mand kebas kemen dasra ngubin nelu tonan nganzula ya penno shuj droge batsa ngubin nelu kechi mushu chin da song yorasra
With regard to Buddha Dharma, the Dharma teachings itself, here the more emphasis is the put on the how to understand the nature of reality, the way to realize the nature of reality. So this is actually very important, and it is taught by Buddha Shakyamuni. So this is the teachings of Buddha Shakyamuni. So why this becomes very important? Why the nature of reality? How to understand this nature of reality becomes very important in our life, because we are always suffering. We are in pain. Our mind is not at peace. So we need to discard all this suffering, especially the root cause of suffering, here the afflictive emotions or negative emotions. So since we need to clear away all these negative emotions, then this the nature of reality, understanding the nature of reality or wisdom realizing emptiness becomes very, very relevant and very, very important too. Because after, realizing the nature of reality, then one will be able to eliminate all the afflictive emotions. One will be able to understand what is suffering and what is the causes of suffering. So if we can really understand the nature of reality, then all the benefits will be there. So that's why in Buddhist teachings, this we put more emphasis on realizing the nature of reality. That's
Taddirda ngubin nilut tongdi ngubin niluta demba singin tongdi teni nganzulaya deva legorista deva khandras legorsna nganzu gyulaya chi chamzig lo shukchen dogres chamzig lo shukcher ka do tizugita semlaya shidi legores ani sherab koni pegorta ra sherab koni pegores pige chamba da tsewa sherab lo sobaya perondi teni nimu gi kyen yonsu soban tong yongan jingorada ra 아니 디기 또 잠진 펠트고 가르스나 뉴무 그견 통원디 뉴무 그견 통원디 뉴무 비 온도 손에 강사라야 심전라야 제와 계진 거레스 아니 뉴무 파운드 어 든디진 다 간지 응업은 내로세데 개첨부 쇼치 차야디 안 델덴 송거다 든디진 송거여레스로
with regard to nature of reality. If you have or if you understand the nature of reality, or if you can see the truth, then it can bring about some changes in our mental continuum. And we feel our mind is at peace. We have, peaceful mind at that time. Because by realizing the nature of reality, actually it helps us to develop our love and compassion towards other sentient beings. So our mind, we have, peaceful mind. Our mind is at peace. On top of that, by understanding this nature of reality, the development of wisdom is also there. So it will help us to develop our wisdom. Then, we will understand the disadvantages of negative emotions. We will clearly be able to see the disadvantages of negative emotions. When we see the faults of afflictive emotions, then we can actually generate love and compassion towards others, especially those sentient beings who are suffering most of the times. So we can generate love and compassion towards those sentient beings who are suffering, who are whose mental peace is not there. So to those person actually we can generate love and compassion. Yes.
나가서 라마 중가바기다 돔갸여러스로 니루 도베 셔르 메데나 ngenjon chanju samla komchi kyang sikbi tsaba chebar miniwi tishi tenri tobe tablan pe sonde sanji ki chuyong su sobe ta dom soro tabshi son yores ra ta dindri tola sem shachi an kazu tuduk samdang tuki imba na teni gyacha gyatan ba ta samjan tamji ki dungar seya ki tabshi da du samsamchi chowajile na ta yagbu pe yores tarwa.
And here Lama Tsongkhapa stated a verse. if you don't have the understanding of the nature of reality, even if you have the renunciation, definite emergence, and mind of enlightenment in your mental continuum, I'm sure that this will not help you to liberate from samsara. So this is the verse actually Lama Tsongkhapa stated in one of his texts that it encompasses all the teachings of Buddha Shakyamuni. So here we need to understand that if we can, help other sentient beings, especially by, showing or by, just try to describe the the main points that all the sentient beings can liberate, all the sentient beings can liberate from the samsara, or all the sentient being, you know all other sentient beings, you know this suffering can be eliminated. So if we can think in such a way, then it is quite wonderful. So more questions?
No. 에메는 되겠더라. 이거는 땅으로 치스. 에메는 이 아니 대가는 섬속하시 주셔서라.
If you have some question, please say. And if you don't have some questions, then of course I would like to add some more points here.
Yep.
Okay to ask a question, Geshe?
I think so.
Okay. My question is with what you were talking about, Geshe, about we have a lot of afflictive states of mind, and they cause us a lot of suffering. And it seems ultimately the only way to clear those afflictive states of mind is to develop wisdom. And my question is, as we get closer to developing more authentic, genuine wisdom, in my mind, it seems the power of that antidote will get stronger and will oppose more afflictive states of mind. In a sense, purifying more things in the mind. Will that then cause more things to come up out of the mind as the power of the wisdom gets stronger? It seems like its ability to purify more things in the mind becomes stronger as well.
아니 계실라기다 단다 동해당 동해 깨지기 학벌도 동해 깨지기 규定모레 송송스 아니 동해 세탑 동해 디세베 탑시 약슈딜라 아니 나란즈기 아니 셰랍 길로디 아니 코니 콤베도 땅고 그레스 모베네주 통일로 아니 덴디기다 간제 셰랍디 콤베도 두그레스 콤베 땅고 그레스 니 송송스 나란즈기 셰랍디 콤베 땅고 그레스 디 나란즈 아니 다 셰랍디 콤베도 땅주 잠발라스로 아니 다 셰랍디 콤벨 땅발라 테니 나란즈 규기 아니 묘몬디 아니 묘옹도다 충도 그랬으니 송그 두스 대점도 마세베 나란즈 규기 디바디 종투 그레팅게 두스 나란즈기 셰랍 카주스 지기 콤베도 땅와이나 텔라 테니 아니 디바 종야디 디컴스 길랍 체와다 펜토와 요레팅게 두데니 레베스
야치자. 딕비자와 뉴무라. 뉴무세 온데 딕바랑싱 세기라스라.
Yes, 100%. The root cause of the root cause of this negative or negativities is afflictive emotions, then of course, when you try to minimize or when you try to clear away these afflictive emotions, then naturally, the negative deeds or wrong deeds will be, purified too. Yes.
제 딕바세드 딕바슬라우라다 안 차와서로지레다다 룽아기 차와서로 룽아기 차와 꼬늘랑인디 니무차고르다 이제 그 짜와 디파 까원디 야가 드브 아니 다 용사메와 자시자라스라 디존르지레스
With regard to these misdeeds or non-virtuous actions, so here non-virtue itself is an action. So its motivation. So here this non-virtuous actions actually, non-virtuous action has, but it can be classified with regard to the action of body and action of speech. Non-virtuous action of body, non-virtuous action of speech. So this, the main cause here is the motivation. So motivation here, and then, afflictive emotion. So afflictive emotion acts as motivation. Afflictive emotion is the root cause here. Then the action of body or the non-virtuous actions of body, non-virtuous actions of mind is the non-virtue here, and this is the action. So you can think like, if we, then destroy the root cause. If we destroy the root, then you cannot think about like stem, flowers, and other branches. Yes.
데디자다 tsuudi nganzuda kyamdru dombalyan ondini chene kyamdru jisungundu asara sanji chu gendun sech sanji chu gendun laya kyabsundru yin say kyamdru jisungundu asara dii kabdu laya sanji di kyab kari yinba chu kandas kyab giyome gendun kandas kyab giyome dii abu shingo warata dii shingba yanada teni ani chomden dii nganzu kandas kyab giyome 좀 된 데게 잘 가르나요메 좀 된 데게 단단 잠불리나야 지지 치슈 가르샤요메 참은 통도야지 이거다 따라 and the same thing 좀된 데야 대박이야지 딘지 야부지 송도 상상지 아니 최도 못 해야지 딩걸 딩이버드 다 좀된 데 간주 캡 템포 버레스 캡이 넘버 순시온디 좀된 데데 캡 템포 버레스 송요레스 좀 전에 무슨 경우에들이 송요 말하다. 겹 tempo 보드레스. 둥할 세비 탑 템포 보드. 그 둥한 무슨 세기 세토기 송요 말에 세기 송요 말에 네 차란서 둥할 세비 탑 땡기스. 탑 갈이스. 네 신송스. 냠뇽 트로송스. 디 차란서 락터체 디 차란서 주 둥할 세토바디 네 자시자다 사이자 투고스 디소를 쓴 거라다. 캐난소 그 동아세비 탑된 샤바티 라레나 마데나가 캐난소 동아세야 셴바카에 메스 티요 말다 딘디지 송거다 디 띵간중에 버 신고다스라 백케신 버레샤스
The main point here is at the time of taking the vows or refuge vows, at that time actually we should know that while we are saying I go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, so it's important to know What do you mean by Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha? So how does this Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, save us, help us to liberate from this samsara? So, after understanding this, then of course you will understand that how much the importance of Buddha Shakyamuni in this world. What are his advices or instructions? So how much he himself put effort or for the benefit of other sentient beings. We also need to understand the Dharma itself. So here the main important thing is we should understand that Buddha Shakyamuni is our teacher. So he is the real teacher and not the actual Dharma. So Dharma is different from Buddha. So Buddha is different from Dharma. So these two we need to differentiate here. And Buddha Shakyamuni always states that uh, Buddha Shakyamuni always gives teachings about how to liberate from this samsara. What is the meaning of suffering? What are its causes? Like that, he is helping us to liberate from this samsara. So, here, we should understand that Buddha Shakyamuni is, himself has gone through all this path and attained enlightenment. So, after realizing or after, having this realization in his mental continuum, and after, experiencing all the paths by oneself, then he gives teachings. Okay, I have experiences such and such states. So if you go through that path, then I'm sure that you will uh, experience that too. So here all these things we need to understand. So the real Dharma or actual Dharma is not the Buddha Shakyamuni himself. Buddha Shakyamuni just give teachings. He helps us to liberate from this samsara. He helps us to understand the meaning of suffering and the causes of suffering. So these things we should keep it in our mind.
Dirida. Dinza, ta dindi ta chik sanji kari son yoba. Tiyan chik pi ngubi nilu dang jarni. Ngubi nilu ta chik rikpi lamni sam tangi yoba kari son yoba. Tiga kawala pengi yoba. Di chik yung zoba chik lola ani sosugi shimbala ta lobzhong chego dasara. Lobzhong chego da. Ta lobzhong chesagi pe da ta chik ani lomzen soro chik tsiba na. Ani chidang mambu shuyarda. Ra nama sanji yu chu pyo tanda padu ta lo ani chik tong peshi ngabja tukja dunja tini royi jire. Ani di ring la ya ta chik keba mambu ki pe ani song yores. Ta di nani ta ani shengo mare lama tsunga pagi song tiki tila ya. Di nani ta chik ani song ta tsangma ta jang kalakawar ta longpa dewa. Di nani pe na lamram jing lamram chenpo. Tesu inji tola ta sivu shuyora. Tesu gyundengi ani tsar chik mayimba. Ani yang chik lokshin samlo tangba ina. Tene gyasha gyatamba sanji ki chu kuwa chik nigiris. Temado chik teb le lao chik pigi chidang drum sheshe soto chik. Chidang nanchu dan dewa tisyo ani drum kodewu ro tenji la ngo khordewa na tuzo ta rosha gara wasarwa nganzo lagdun ta chi ani tarwi kabki tuzo ti ni ngyabu shun rosha gara wasarwa tini taya lonan tongbu retsa di tini chi ta mi rikashi la korang la nibachindo mado mang che chiki ani lobzhong che tuku mara wasarwa tini kala kawareta tinza ani chi suzu la ya nipa yubi kaptuk sukbu tarbi kaptuk ani chi samlo tangba yana tanggi yubi kaptuk tinji la ya ani lamram tuzu la ta goya pe kichin boris lamram di pe kichin boris ro
We need to understand what are being taught by Buddha Shakyamuni, especially, about the nature of reality. So then whatever the teachings that has been taught by Buddha Shakyamuni, so from the point of view of students ourselves, then we should actually, believe, or we should actually, have the capacity to believe that point, or believe that teachings, by using, evidence, or by using the reasons. So here the reason plays a very important role, since we have this wonderful intelligence mind in our mental continuum. So to understand this nature of reality, actually we need to do study, hear, listen the teachings, and contemplate. So there are many texts, of course, you can read. And with regard to Buddhist teachings, or with regard to Buddha Dharma, so it is established, or it is flourished in Tibet for, I guess, now, 1,000, more than 1,600 or 700 years ago. So it is flourished in Tibet. So in Tibet, of course, there are many great masters. And one of the great master is Lama Tsongkhapa. So he has composed many texts. So I don't think you will be able to read all the texts which is composed by Lama Tsongkhapa. Anyhow, then you can read this Lamrim, Great Lamrim, Middle Lamrim, and Short Lamrim, or the what it is called as Song of Experience. So graded path to enlightenment. So all of these Lamrim texts are in English nowadays. So of course you can read these texts. Then when I say you should read these texts, and it is not enough just to read once. Try to read these texts again and again. Try to contemplate. Try to understand its main meaning. Otherwise, if you try to just read a small book of the some Buddhist texts, and if you try to just read that book, then time will just pass. So when you are young, when you have such potential, when you are able to read this big volumes of Lamrim texts, so at that time you should read. Otherwise, when you become elder, then I don't think you will be able to study. and contemplate. So there are some, elders who have the capacity to study and contemplate. Then, of course, you can do study also. So my main point is, when you are young, when you have the capacity, when you have the power to do study and contemplate, at that time, don't waste your time. Just study and study again and again. Read again and again. So read Lamrim uh, again and again, and I'm sure that it will benefit you.
Dida nganzu da jongdar che guay da yinbar wasdara. Yinbar da dida pena nganzu mik thong ni lega che jimbay na ya. Shiu jango da rosong tang, tizu tang chi. Mik ta ni lega che jimbay na ya. Da di ngubi nilu shila shabi to ni ani chi lo zhong rinpa di teli kyang keche rinda da, saba rinda, chamo rinda. An duzu la tizu chi tang ni chi jama tu na chimri tuyan shin kalika wara dara.
And with regard to transformation of mind or training the mind, of course, we need to train our mind. And there are many jobs where you have to, just do by, just copying, or you can see the other people, whatever they do, you just follow that. So for that also, you are, of course, you are in different profession. So you are doing different jobs. At that particular job, you have to spend a lot of time, and there are many expenditures too. So to that, if you are able to spend, more time, and if you are able to spend money, or there are many expenditures, then of course, with regard to realizing the nature of reality, to understand or to study or contemplate about nature of reality, this actually is more circular. It is more circular than the profession, that job, whatever you are doing. So of course, then we need to train our mind. So since this understanding of this nature of reality, so we are talking about training of our mind. So then we need to put more effort. We need to spend more time to train our mind, so that we can have peaceful mind. Yes.
Nganzu pen chunju sha motor tang jangbay na. Kola chik yinlu tsunding motor chik jangbay na. Dola tongda kashi tego do asira. An tizu tango da. Ta nganzu ki nangchu janya ki chido. Ani kazus tizu tango re. Rosong kazus tang tugo re. Tela shibdur chiway na. Wani chi nganzu nangchu digi susu le shivuji pen towa chi yung matu ya di. Ani aldamba tizu tang matu, rosong tang matu, jang matu wita. Ani kyunjila tuk yobada sewu shivuji chagrestar. Dili samdanda kanchi ani tuzu tangchi ni rikpa dhambay na gyashi gyatamba semla pembi ani pigila ya tablam jita shuyoris taro.
For instance, if we have to learn driving, then of course we have to spend lots of money, maybe some 1,000, more than $1,000 to learn driving. Of course, then we need to spend lots of time to review both practical and theory. So we need to spend lots of time. and we need to spend some $1,000 for this driving. And with regard to Buddhist teachings, with regard to Buddhism, so we need to spend some time, we need to some dollars, we need to some spend some expenditure. So right now what's happening is it's this Buddhist teaching is not helping us much because we are not able to study, we are not able to give some time, we are not able to contemplate the whatever teachings that we receive. So if you can spend some time, then if you can study, contemplate, then of course it will help us. It will bring about some changes in our mental continuum. This is something that I'm sure about. This.
Bhajan, thank you so much.
Final Lamrim prayer. From my two types of merits vast a space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a grand land of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by my practice. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold the Buddha's teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be grounded boundless peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time by even this graded path to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their sons. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and create conducive conditions for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may he always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. And pray for the long life of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Incomparably kind and supreme Tenzing Gyatso, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, may you have a long life and all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. And pray for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. Peerless teacher and assembly of the children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, victorious Losang father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now, holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings through explanation and practice. You wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge. And for mother living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. What a great loss! Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels, and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in a glory for fortunate disciples. Thank you very much. And the next public teaching with Geshe will be this Sunday at 10:30, and today we have also a meditation in the Gompa at 1:15 in person, led by Venerable Asom. Thank you.